You don't need to keep on arguing. I said this is not good. I said this must be. I said this is not the right way. Hi, welcome to our channel. Today's video is on how to communicate better with your husband. That is, how to communicate effectively with your husband without quarreling, fighting, or misunderstanding. So we are going to look at what is communication in marriage and 10 good tips on how to communicate effectively with him without any problem. Make sure you sit tight and watch to the end so that you get every information, all the details, all the tips, all the secrets that you need in order to communicate effectively, in order to communicate better with your husband. If you are here for the first time, my name is Ivuoma Chimaobi. Let's get to the video. What is communication in marriage? Communication in marriage is simply when you send information, message, signal to your husband in such a way that he understands it without any issues or problem, without any misunderstanding between you people. Communication is very, very important. And it is not just important, you also have to learn the tricks, the secrets. You also have to learn how to communicate effectively. This is very essential in our marriage because with communication, you can be able to iron out issues with him. With communication, all the bad and big face that you are carrying up, you can be able to tell him, this thing that you did to me, I did not like it. This thing that is happening, I don't like it. So communication helps us to let our feelings be known to our husband, enhance good relationship between us and our husband. Without good communication, we will not be able to move forward. We will not be able to have a very, very good marriage. We are looking at 10 tips, 10 secrets on how to communicate better, how to communicate effectively with your husband. The first one we are going to look at is that you have to create time. You have to make time for communication. You have to make time for you and your husband to communicate. Many of us, we are too busy. We are very, very busy with ourselves, domestic work, taking care of the children, going to the market, going to work, and all those things. At the end of the day, you will be very, very tired and you will carry the bad feelings that is pressing you in your mind over and over again without communicating with him for him to know. So spend time with him. Make opportunity for you guys to go out together on a regular basis. This will create opportunity for you guys able to communicate with him, be able to tell him the issues that you want you guys to iron out. Now, the next thing that we are going to look at is learn and understand his moods. This is very, very important thing that most ladies overlook. You have to understand his body language. If he looks at you, you have to know what is the meaning. If he is walking around up and down, just like my husband, he will be pacing up and down, up and down. You have to know what it means. If he's walking up and down, if he's restless, those things that makes him uncomfortable. This is watching him and understanding his mood, understanding his body language will help you to know the best time for you to communicate with him. By communicating with him at the right time, you will see that the communication will flow very well and the message, the signal that you're sending to him will be well received. Now, the next thing that we are going to say is you have to give him a listening ears. Yes, you have to listen to him. Even when you are angry, just be patient. Just that little effort of listening to him. This will help you to understand. Remember, when you are listening, listen with the intent to understand, not with the intent to reply. Many of us, we are guilty of this, including myself. When you are boiling, you will be making your mind up. Oh, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. This, as he is talking, you are just preparing, you are thinking of what you are going to reply. No, that is not the right thing to do. The right thing for you to do is to listen with all your heart. And the reason you are listening is for you to understand his own point, understand where he's coming from. When you understand him, you will now know the angle that he is looking at this thing, and it will help you for you to also understand what he is talking about. It will also help you when you are replying, you will now know what you are going to say. So it is very, very important for you to give him listening ear. Tip number 4 is that you don't have to jump into conclusion. I know why I'm saying this, because many of us will say, yes, I know that is what you are going to say. I know this is what you are going to say. I know that is what you are going to reply. That is what you are going to answer. How do you know? Are you in his heart? Yes. If I may ask, are you in his mind for you to know what he's going to answer? Please, please, you have to take note of this. Do not always jump to conclusion. Do not always judge him even before listening to him, even before understanding the reason why he is doing this thing. Now, if you have an open mind concerning the issue, if you open your heart, if you open your mind, this will guide you not to jump into conclusion. Because when you are jumping into conclusion, you have already passed judgment. You have already judged him before even listening, before even knowing the source of what he is doing, the source of the problem. So you don't need to jump into conclusion, please. Tip number 5 is seek first to understand and then to be understood. Seek first to know why he is doing what he is doing. This is very important. It's just like, for instance, maybe your child got sick in the night and the child is very, very hot. You are looking for what to do. You don't know. You now start calling, you call the first doctor, you now tell the doctor, oh, my child is very hot. And the doctor said, hey, the child is hot, give him this, give him that. And you now see, you were not comfortable. You were not comfortable with the answer that the doctor gave you. Now called another doctor. He said, doctor, please, my child is very sick and this is midnight, I don't know what to do. And that doctor now asked you, how did it happen? What is his body temperature? How is he feeling? Has he eaten? Has he done this? Has he done that? Now you will now see that when this doctor has gathered the information, he will now be able to profile solution. Yes, so what we are saying is that do not prescribe without diagnosing. You have to diagnose before you prescribe. Seek first. Find the problem first. Know why he's doing this thing first. This will help you in order for you to pass the right judgment. It will help you in order for you to seek solution to the issue. So when you seek first to understand, by the time you have already given him listening ear, letting him to open up to the issue and you listen carefully, when you are now telling him your own angle, your own idea, you will see that he will also listen. Yes, because you first desire to understand him, and you will see that he will also understand you. So it is not all about you. The first thing you should consider is him. How is he feeling? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Then you now can express your own side of the story. The next tip is, what is the next tip? The next thing is for you to know when to push and when to quit. You don't need to always get the answer to every question that you're asking as at that time. Many people will say, am I not talking to you? Why are you not answering me? Why are you not answering me? And you now be showing muzzle. But I want to tell you that it is not by showing muzzle, it's not by insisting for him to answer you as at that time that will solve the problem. No. Know when to quit. Let him express himself at his own time. You know that if you are patient enough for him to open up when he is ready, you will see that you will get all the information that you need, all the information that is supposed to be given to you. But if you push him, if you keep on forcing him, answer me, answer me, answer me, you see that even if he answers you, he will not, he's not going to answer you well. So please know when to quit, know when to stop pushing. That is the tip number 6. So before I continue, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel as we make content around how you can solve your marriage challenges, how you can be financially independent as a woman, and how you can live a Christian lifestyle. So subscribe to this channel for more content like this one. I believe you are enjoying this video. The next tip that we are going to consider is be silent while he is talking. Please, this is one of the bad side of women. We always like to do competition with the man. When he talk one, we are going to talk one. When he say two, we will say three. That is not the way to go about it. The way to go about it is to be silent. Try as much as you can to hold yourself. Try as much as you can to control that feelings, that anger, that emotion that wants to push you to answer him when he's talking. When you hold yourself, when you are silent while he is talking, you will see that he will relax and communicate well with you. But if he says something and you are replying, if he says something and you are talking back at him, he will just stop talking. The next thing he will just do is to withdraw to himself and say, oh yeah, you have known all. I have said this out of experience. So he will say, you have known all, no need for me to tell you. So if you want to be in a good all right, if you want to communicate with your husband very well, then you need to learn how to be silent while he is talking. This will help him to say all he has to say. It will help him to free his mind. Yes, when he frees his mind, you will now understand what his anger was. So please learn how to be silent while he is talking. The next point I want you to consider, the next tip is that you should stop nagging. Stop complaining. Stop nagging and complaining. I always like to tell women, it is not by nagging and complaining that you will find solution to what you are looking for. It is not that when you, oh, I'm suffering, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's only me that used to, that want to find solution. It's only me that want to seek solution. You don't always care. You don't care for this family. It is not when you complain. It is not when you keep on nagging every day. In fact, I want to tell you people one story about one woman that the husband always come back home late every time at a particular point in their marriage. This was not his habit at the beginning of their marriage. Suddenly, he starts coming home late. And you know, being a new thing that the wife has not been seeing him doing, when he come back home, the wife will start talking. Why are you coming back home now? Why are you coming back home? Is it the time that you're supposed to come? Is it the time that the good husband is supposed to come? The wife will knock, shout, talk. My sister, the next day, if the man came home, if the man came back by 7 o'clock, the next day the man start coming back by 8, and the wife started shouting, talk. The more the wife talk, the more the man will add the time. The next day the man comes back by 9, the next day by 10. So this was a really big challenge for the wife. Honestly, the wife want the man to stop coming back home late, but the way that she was going about it caused the push the man away more, making the man to do those things more that the man was doing. So then one day the woman called herself a meeting and said, oh yeah, let me just rest, let me try this way. She decided to change her method. She decided to change her method towards the husband. That day the husband came back very late, and when the husband came back, she went and welcomed the husband, boiled water for him, asked him to bath, gave him food without saying anything. And surprisingly, This was the solution that they just needed as at that moment, because immediately she treated the husband like that, this made the husband to stop coming back home late. So what am I saying? Nagging and complaining push your husband more away than solving the issue. So I want to plead with you, please stop nagging, please stop talking. It is not by shouting, talking and quarreling that will make him to stop this behavior. Instead, learn to understand. Try to understand him. Try to know his feeling. Try to know his mood. What is making him to behave the way he's behaving? This will guide you very well, and this will profile the best solution that you are looking for. So please stop nagging. Tip number 9 I want you to consider is that you should stop unnecessary argument. You don't need to argue with him before you can make your point. You don't need to keep on arguing. I said this is not good. I said this must be. I said this is not the right way. When you keep on arguing, you are increasing the issue. Yes, you are making the misunderstanding to grow more. You are not in competition with your husband. This is one thing I want you to know. Stop unnecessary argument. Instead of you to use force and energy to make your point, use humbleness, quietness. You can still make him to understand what you want him to understand. So what we are saying is that you should always look for the right moment to tell him. That's why you have to create the moment. That is why you have to spend time with him, communicate with him often, regularly. This will help you guys to iron out this issue on a proper and a good manner. Tip number 10 that we need to take note is that you should learn to do more of action, less of talk. Yes, sometimes you can just decide to use eye. Sometimes you can decide to use touch or tap. You don't need to talk every time. Every time you start talking. So learn to start doing more of action and less of talk. For instance, if he's the kind that if he comes back home, he will remove his clothes and keep in the parlor, and his tie, maybe he will drop it in the kitchen, and his shoe, he will keep it in the bedroom. So if he's that kind of a person, and probably you don't like this kind of a thing, and you have complained to him that you don't like it and you keep on doing it, what you should do is that you change the way you are telling him. If he comes back, just stop talking. When you see him drop that thing, use your hand and pick that thing. Go and keep it where you want to, where you want him to be keeping it. Just try this, change the pattern, just try this for some time, and I assured you, you see that he will start doing that thing that you are doing. He will come back and he's going to take that cloth and go and keep it at the proper place. So what we are saying is that more of actions, less of talk. In summary, the 10 tips that we have discussed so far is: number 1, that you should create time. Make an opportunity for you people to communicate. Yes, discuss with him from time to time and spend time together. You guys should spend time doing what you love doing together. This will give you people an opportunity for you to discuss. The second one is that you should learn and understand his body language. Yes, understand his mood. This will make you to know when to talk and when not to talk. It will help you to know when to bring an issue up. So you really need to understand his mood. The last thing that we have discussed is that you should be silent while he is talking. You really need this skill. You need to learn how to be quiet, be silent while he's talking. Allow him to talk finish before you can bring your own point. And the next thing is that you should give him a listening ear. Yes, while listening, please listen with the intent to understand, not with the intent to reply. Yes, do not keep your mind calculating what you are going to reply. And when once you finish talking, this is what I'm going to talk. This will not give you a full understanding of what he is saying. So when you listen, please listen to understand and not with the intent to reply. The next thing that we have also discussed is that you should stop nagging. Stop complaining. It is not by complaining and shouting and talking that you can solve the issue. No, you have to follow him with a humble spirit. And the next thing that we have also seen is that you should seek first to understand and then to be understood. You have to diagnose the problem before you can prescribe. You have to know the problem before you can find solution. So always seek to understand his own point. Look at the issue from his own point of view. This will guide you on how to go about solving the issue. Please learn to understand him first before you can now let him understand your own point. We have also talked, know when to push and when to quit. Yes, know when to continue talking, know when to continue shouting, and when to quit. If you ask him something and he decides to keep silent, please just know that he's not in a good mood to talk about that issue. Then you now quit. Wait for him until when he is ready to communicate with you. We have also seen that you should do more of action and less of talking. More of action. Learn to communicate with him in signs and other forms of communication, like looking at him, showing him sign, and maybe tapping him, touching him. These are other ways of communication. It is not always by shouting and talking, voicing what you want him to do. With this, when you practice these things from time to time, you will see that your communication with him is going to improve. Do not figure out that the only way you can settle this issue, the only way that you can deal with the issue is by not dealing with the issue. That is very, very wrong misconception that many of us always have. He said, okay, since you don't want the solution, let us be like that now. That is not the right way. So the key for you to stay in love with your husband is for you to have good communication system, for you two guys to communicate and have time for you to iron out these issues that are causing misunderstanding between you people. Thank you for staying with me to the end of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Please subscribe and also support this channel by giving this video a like and a comment, and also share this video to other women that will benefit from it. Jesus loves you and we love you too. Bye. See you in the next video.